of using the cell phone while driving. As you know in my introductory speech, I work for a garbage company in the city of Chicago, and I drive a 60,000-pound vehicle. Within those limits, I am aware of my surroundings. And being aware of my surroundings, I have to look for other cars, people driving cars, and they're holding their cell phone, or they're on their hands-free headsets talking on the cell phone, or listening to music. And I have to be aware of that. Same with them walking. In fact, let me give you an example. One time I had a green light. I'm getting ready to go through the green light, and all of a sudden somebody comes walking across on the crosswalk, not paying attention if they have the right of way or not, and they're sitting there looking down and texting on their phone. I could have very easily hit them, and they would have been dead. Second, as they're driving and they become careless and crazy, they become weaving in and out of the lanes. They're not aware that I'm around or any other vehicle, and they lose total concentration of driving. They become erratic in their driving. So, at this introduction, my question is, are cell phones dangerous? And my persuasion is, yes, I want to persuade you that cell phones are dangerous to be using while driving. And it's not so much of talking on the phone, but they're saying that it's more of being on a hands-free device and or reaching down and dialing the number, reaching down for the cell phone. So, we look at cell phones have grown dramatically. In 1995, cell phone subscription covered only 11% of the United States. In 2010, it went up to 93%. Led to a substantial increase in cell phone use while driving and distracting driving-related deaths. So, as we see, as the cell phones increase, the amount of cell phones increase, we also see the death of using cell phones while driving has increased. We simply talking on the phone did not prove anything dangerous, is what they're saying. Dialing, texting, or reaching for the phone while driving raises the risk. Work with simulators, test tracks, and cell phone records suggest that risky driving increases when people are on cell phones. So they have made these tests saying that the risky drivers have become more obvious while they are on their cell phones. Talking on a cell phone while driving requires the brain to multitask. You see, the brain is, when you're driving and talking on the cell phone, your brain becomes multitasking, a process that it cannot do safely while driving. A growing number of drivers are turning to hand-free devices. Studies show that hand-free devices provide no safety benefit. So they're saying even if you're on the cell phone or you're on the hands-free, it doesn't matter. The increase is still valid about the brain has to multitask. And the problem with the brain is this: the area of the brain responsible for processing moving visual information and vital part of driving has 37% less capacity to gather and process critical driving data and instead focus on the cell phone conversation. You see, it's having an issue of processing the critical driving while someone's on the cell phone having a conversation, because the focus is more on the conversation than it is on the critical driving data. Statistics show that 15 to 20-year-olds account for 6% of all drivers. Out of that 6%, 10% traffic deaths and 14% police-reported crashes due from 15 to 20-year-olds. The Virginia Tech Transportation Institute installed video cameras, global positioning system, lane trackers, gadget to measure speed and acceleration, and other sensors in cars. 42 newly licensed drivers, 16 or 17 years old, and 109 adults with an average age of 20 risked of a crash or near miss among young drivers increased more than sevenfold. If they were dialing or reaching for a cell phone, fourfold if they were sending or receiving a text message. Older drivers, only dialing and cell phone increased the chances of crash or near misses. 12 states banned the use of handheld cell phones while driving. 41 banned text messaging. All cell phone use is banned in 37 states for the teen driver. Now, with this data, it's also saying if you're on your cell phone, it equals you're drunk. They have ran tests that are saying that your actions on cell phone are the same and or worse than being drunk. A study in the New England Journal of the Medicine found that drivers who use mobile phones while driving were 4 times more likely to crash, a rate equal to that of for drunken driving at the level 0.10, which is 20% higher than the current 0.08 in all the United States. So they're classifying driving and using a cell phone as 0.10, and the legal limit for alcohol for drunken driving is 0.08. So obviously, they're saying that you are well drunk when you are talking on a cell phone. Drivers who talk on either handheld or hand-free cellular phones are as impaired as drunken drivers. Cell phone companies are fighting the statistics, but Mothers Against Drunken Driving are fighting that it's real. And these tests prove that they're real. You see, of course, these cell phone companies are going to debate it. You know, the statistics aren't correct, or we need to do our own statistics. But it's shown over and over here. Fortunately, the percentage of drunk drivers at any time is much lower. The risk of talking on a cell phone and driving is probably much higher than driving intoxicated because more people are talking on cell phones than driving while drunk. Cell phone users have been found 5.36 times more likely to get in an accident than undistracted drivers. About the same for drivers with a 0.08 blood alcohol level. So you see, using a cell phone while driving can relate you to being a drunken driver. Also, using a cell phone while driving can put you in a statistic with the one you don't want to be. So the choice is yours. Is it safe or isn't it?